I'm working on a project for a challenge that's called What's on My Work Desk Wednesday. And I love participating in the challenge, but sometimes life sort of gets in the way of me being able to have something prepared weekly. I was doing a good job of keeping up with it. And then back in April, um, I got sick, then my husband got sick, then I was also involved in our elections, and everything just got away from me. So now I'm back, and hopefully I will be able to be more consistent, but I have to live, my regular life in addition to my crafting life. And I ran across some card styles and things that I had not done before. And so I thought, well, this is really cool. I like this card style, and maybe I'll just make several cards with this kind of fun fold, this kind of fancy design. So this is one of them that I'm working on now. And this one is a pop-up gift card holder. One of the things that I decided that going into 2025, I was going to go back to where I originally started with card making. And when I originally started card making, I didn't buy designer papers or scrapbook papers, anything like that. I used wallpaper. I had a friend who worked at a wallpaper store, and when their books were discontinued, they just piled them all in the back room, and then they kind of like went into the dumpster. I had some wallpaper books. I had these sample books, and the lady had told me, just, you can just keep them. And so I started using them to make cards. And so that's how what I really started with doing my card making. So I decided that even though I threw away like maybe 100 wallpaper sample books, I held on to about 25. And I decided I would start going through the ones that I held on to and seeing what kind of cards I can make. So the gold paper obviously is not wallpaper, but everything else that you see, I mean, the craft stock isn't, but everything else is wallpaper. Yeah. So I'm going to create this using the wallpaper. That's what I'm working on today. So we'll see how this goes. I put some double-sided tape on the back of on this piece of wallpaper, and I'm going to layer it onto this gold. So I can already see this is crooked. I should have done it from the bottom up. But I use books by hand glue, and it's fast setting. So this is a little off, but that's okay. It's going to be fine. It's going to be down in here. That's going to be okay. All right. I'm just wanted to try to get all of my layers down. So you're good. Now for the top layer of my card. Needless to say, I have to be very, very careful when I'm trimming my paper because these are from sample books and I only have one sheet to work with. So, I don't get any do-overs with this. It either works the first time you put it down or it doesn't. Okay. I'm going to pray that this books by hand glue will adhere because I don't want to put the tape down. It's just too hard to get everything lined up. Well, I'm glad I'm keeping this. It's not going anywhere. I'm not giving it to anyone. Or it's not my plan to give it to anyone. Depends. My sister-in-law comes over here and sees it and likes it, go home with her. Yes, I'll do it this way. And then I like my flower in the other direction, but this will work. I think Okay. All righty. So now I was thinking about distressing I usually, when I work with craft paper, I will usually distress the edges, but with this, I wanted to just leave it. And this wallpaper was just so pretty. And I was like, that will make a beautiful pop-up card. So that is pretty. That wallpaper is just gorgeous. And all of the books that I have are either vinyl or fabric. And let me show you the book. So this is the book, and it was everything. And it's like orange, and the sheets will have, like you'll have a sheet like this, and then it'll have a coordinating floral that goes with it. And like here's a sheet, and you can mix this with this. So you can mix and match the sheets. So this was a coordinating sheet for this floral paper. In the description box, I will have a link to Lisa's stamping studio or stamp studio. She has a nice tutorial for making these pop-up cards. And she has a link that will take you to the project sheet that will give you the measurements. I should have tested this before. I glued that pocket down. Let's see. Please go down in there. When you get it down in there and get it centered. My husband always teases me and says, nobody else is going to notice all the things that you notice. And if anyone ever tore um, one of these handmade cards, they tore it apart. They'd be like, whoa. You do want your pop-up to slide easily in and out. So really, I was supposed to glue these edges down, but I'm going to leave this unglued. Okay, I'll think about it. And this is my closer. And I cut my butterfly from this wallpaper. And I cut a sentiment out of, this is a holographic glitter paper. And I cut the word blessings out of that. And I'm going to glue that down. This is bothering me. Yeah, that is really bothering me. And I really forgot that before I glued that down, I should have put the gold down. But I'll figure it out. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to do something. Even if I just cut um, a small piece of this and just sort of frame it. I mean, that would be okay because it'll be okay if this part of the craft cardstock is showing. That would be okay. But I just feel like I need to put something up here because this is just too much of that just brown. So I solved my dilemma by going into my stash, and I had a piece of specialty paper, and it looks sort of like grass. So it really works well with this paper. And I just put it on backed it on a piece of the gold foil and stamped with love on the inside. And that captures my green. It pulls all my colors together. And my pockets, everything is working okay with my pockets, which is good. And now to put my butterfly on, I really wanted to angle him, but if I turn him, it just looks like he's crooked. And I don't want to cover up my flower. So I'm going to use double-sided tape. Now on the butterfly, I put craft foam on the back of him. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to make a little light line. And that just lets me know to put all of my foam tape above that line. So that's what I'm going to do. Now the next one I think I'll probably emboss because you can run this vinyl paper through, um, use a 3D embossing folder and you can emboss texture. But I like this like it is. I don't want to mess with it or change anything. So cool beans. I'm very pleased with how that turned out. So that's my gift card holder made with wallpaper. So if you just did a decorating project, you got some wallpaper lying around, or you can, like I said, go to your local wallpaper shop, or you might even check with someplace like Home Depot where they have a whole department and ask them if they have a discontinued book or some discontinued samples that they can give you. Because some of them by law have to be destroyed. Um, I forgot what I was told, but a couple of the paint stores that I went to, they were like, "Oh yeah, sure, you can have them because we just throw them in the dumpster," and they just wrote discontinued and ripped out a few pages and sent me on my merry little way. So thanks for stopping by. I am going to be using this wallpaper book to do a series of cards that I'm going to call Sweet Orange or something like that. And so this is the first in that series. And I'm going to go through and find different fun bowls so that I can use the wallpaper in different ways. And I want to do some stitching on the wallpaper as well. And whenever uh, you see some pretty paper, wrapping paper, a bag that you get, someone gives you a gift and it's in a real pretty bag. If you're careful taking that bag apart, you can cut out sections and use it to create layers for your cards, and it will save you money. You won't end up like I am with hundreds of books, even after having given away hundreds of books of scrapbooking paper where I only used one page or two pages out of it. This is a much cheaper way to get beautiful, beautiful papers. All right, this was fun, and I'll see you next time.